Hey guys, good morning. Central Texas, USA at 8:36 a.m. 46 top up degrees, Saturday, February the 3rd, 2018. And I'm out and about, and the topic for today is going to be cell phone safety. But first I got to say this. Get busy living or get busy dying. Shawshank. Remember that movie? A great little quote. But anyway, about cell phone safety, I thought I'd touch on that. I'm not an expert, don't pretend to be, but I do know a little bit about it because I can read. And you can do Google searches just like I can and find out the same stuff, and that's all I want to accomplish, is just to get you to put your thinking cap on and possibly save you and maybe your family some minor health issues over the long term. Cell phone radiation has been an issue for many years. The standard that they use now for setting, the standard that is set right now for cell phones, the SAR, or specific absorption ratio, that is allowed on cell phones sold in the U.S., was a standard set approximately 20 years ago. But it still applies today. The guideline in the USA, I believe, is 1.6 or lower. The lower the number, the better. SAR means specific absorption ratio. I'll get it here in about an hour. But what it is and what you need to know, you don't need to worry about all these cute little labels and stuff. It doesn't mean a lot. What you need to come away with is that the cell phone radiation, the radiation that is put out by a cell phone, if you hold it against your ear, is the same as a microwave oven. It is electromagnetic radiation, okay? Or EMR. And with your cell phone, it's emitted all the time. All the time. If you have it in your pocket, your body is absorbing radiation all the time. If you have it against your head is absorbing radiation all the time. And the farther you are from the tower, the more radiation it's going to emit, because the harder the cell phone has to work to get the signal. Okay? So those are a few things you need to know. And another thing is the size of the adult head is much larger than a child's head. So for an adult using the phone, may not cause much of a problem, whereas that same amount of time of cell phone usage by a child, say 5 to 10 years old, the specific absorption would probably double. I don't know that. I just assume that based on the size of the individual's head. But the SAR, the specific absorption ratio, is something you can find out about your phone. You can do a Google search just for your type of phone. For example, I have an LG Stylo 2, and I just typed in LG Stylo 2 in Google search field and entered SAR, and then go to that page and then pick a topic, and it will tell you the SAR for your phone. The lower, the better. Most smartphones are around 1. Some are above that. But again, the guideline in the USA is 1.6 max. Another thing people do is put their cell phone, leave it on by their bed at night. Not a good idea. You're just toasting your body. But that's up to you. But again, the farther away from your body the phone is, the safer it is for you. Children, man, I don't even know if children ought to have smartphones. Okay? I really don't. Am I going to get to pass another car? You don't think? Watch old Rusty get him. Go, Rusty. Get it, get it, get it, get it. You see that, guys? That's 2 cars I have passed. Well, a truck. I passed a truck and a car this week. Rolling. Anyway, back to the phones. There's a lot of controversy about this, but the cell phone industry has kept it under wraps for years. What I say is use your common sense. If you don't have any common sense, then use your best judgment. But would you stick your head in your microwave oven? Probably not. Do you think that microwave ovens are safe in your home? Good question. I don't have one in my... I bought a 2018 travel trailer, which I live in, a 16-footer, and I've lived in RVs for nearly 30 years, but all of them had microwaves except this one. The only reason this one doesn't, it just didn't come with one, and I'm not going to buy one because I don't need it. I got a 2-burner cooktop and a little electric oven, toaster oven, and that's all I need. But having said that, for you guys that press that cell phone against your head when you're talking, good luck with that. Are the number of tumors across the world increasing? Yes. Now, again, that will depend on whose study you look at. If you look at the studies done by the cell phone industry, you're going to find that no, nothing's changed. In fact, it's gotten better. But if you look at other studies done by individual doctors and so forth, you will find that, yeah, there has been a substantial increase, but to directly attribute those to cell phone usage is the trick, okay? Because there's lots of other variables, and the cell phone companies know that, our industry knows that, and so they got a place to hide. So just use good judgment when you're using your phone. I see people with them stuffed in their back pocket, in their top pocket, front pocket, wherever. That's fine. But you know, and I carry mine in my hand when I'm in the store, so I'm as guilty as anybody. But I don't hold it against my head when I'm talking. I use the speakerphone, so I would recommend using the speakerphone, because the farther the phone is from your body, the less radiation you absorb, okay? So that's about that on cell phone stuff, and now I'll just ramble on. So those of you that tuned in because of the heading of this video, cell phone safety, you can go somewhere else now, because I'm going to probably ramble on about RVing or the weather or anything I feel like talking about till I get to the grocery store, and then I'll end the video, and that's going to be about another 7 or 8 minutes. Just putting you on notice so that you don't think you got caught by some clickbait, because you didn't. But cell phone safety in California, there's some lawsuits filed, of course, all across the USA. You don't read much about them. The news media is not going to report it because they get a lot of advertising from cell phones. So, you know, they know where their bread's buttered. And so, you know, I got to tell you, another reason I do videos like this and prick your interest, so to speak, or get your thinking cap in position, is it's a good thing to know how to do some simple research using the internet. It's a wonderful tool. You can use it for a lot of different things, a lot of different topics. If there's something that you're interested in, you can do research on your own. You just have to be careful in that a lot of the stuff that's published on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on, well, YouTube too, but on Google, you got to know that the first page that pops up are the people that pay the most in dollars to Google. That's how it works. They rank them by the ad dollars. That's why whenever you do a search for cell phones, the big companies pop up first because they spend the most money with Google, and that's how that works. And how many times do you go to page 2? Never. All right. But whenever you're doing research using Google as the search engine, or even Yahoo, either doesn't matter, just bear in mind that a lot of that stuff that you're going to read has been published by that industry, and they're pretty good about it because it'll appear to be a research study done by an independent group, and then you read the bibliography and 90% of the data was provided by the tobacco industry or whatever industry you're looking at. Well, you know that's phony baloney. But if you're careful and use good judgment, you'll find some reliable information. And what I look for when I'm doing simple research, and again, I don't rely on a lot of it either, and I don't do a lot of research, but every now and then I get curious. But I look for what I call a consensus of opinion. In other words, if the majority of the opinions are that cell phones are causing some harm to the human body, then I kind of take that away in my mind, because I go a little deeper in there and try to find some studies. But you know, if 9 out of 10 of the studies are saying it's going to kill you, and one says it's not, what are you going to do? Well, that's up to you. Always your choice. Can 9 stories be lies? Of course. Of course. Can you be tricked? Sure. Have I been tricked? Sure. Have I been lied to? God, I can't tell you how many times. Have I relied on lies and made decisions? Yes. Or have I relied on bad information and made decisions? God, we all have. You know, how would you like to be president? I don't care who it is. Anybody that's ever been president has to rely on the input from aides from all areas, and scientists, and political action groups, and all kind of stuff. And so you got all this stuff coming at you, and you're one individual, and you have to assimilate that and make a decision. Whew, hello, good luck with that. You know, it's easy to criticize the quarterback, but it's damn hard to be one. Yeah, I've been on boards of directors, and I can remember the companies being criticized for a variety of different things, and I just shake my head and say, if they only knew, you know, the people that were criticized, if they just had all the information, they would know. And then the question is, well, why don't you provide all the information? Well, you know, some of that's proprietary information you don't want to get out. You know, it's business. You're competing. But having said that, guys, this is Granite Shoals, Texas. It's 45 degrees. It's about, what, 8:50 a.m.? Got a little overcast today, so it'll be a little dark, I'm sure. Not much, not real bad, but it's okay for me. But be that as it may, use your judgment. Now, my main purpose in doing the cell phone safety stuff, and I've already lost all the viewers anyway, or most of them, is to get people to think about it, maybe not for their benefit because they're adults and they're grown, etc., 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 but for their children and their grandchildren, because some of these kids are getting phones at age 5, and they jam it right against their head when they're talking, and you know, and they carry it in their pockets all day long. Because well, you know, if I'd have had one when I was a kid, would I have had it with me all the time? You bet. It would have been the most enjoyable thing in my life. Can you imagine having had a smartphone in the 1950s when I was, say, 10 years old? My God. I mean, I was still playing nickel pinball machines. You know, that was a video game for me. But be that as it may, this is Granite Shoals, Texas. I may have said something else earlier, but this is Granite Shoals. It's on a big lake, Highland Lakes. It's permanent population here, I'm not sure. I think it's around 5,000. It's pretty big, actually. I mean, well, pretty big. You guys think that's a gnat. You know, where I live, that's a big city. You know, Llano's about 3,000 population. Marble Falls is 6,000. Burnet, Texas is about 5,000 or 6,000. And that's all there is around me. That's it, within 70 miles. And that's the way I like it. So anyway, guys, put your thinking caps on. Use your judgment about the cell phones, but particularly for your children and your grandchildren. You know, that's the key, because they've got one, and you know, they don't even know what the SAR ratio is. And if it's high, if it's around, mine's high, around 1 is getting on up there. 1.6 in the U.S. is as high as it can go and still be sold in the USA. But you know, you got to know they get around it. They don't test every cell phone. And you got to know that's an average, you know. So, you know, your cell phone actually may be higher than the guideline, and you not even know it. But if you use good judgment, you don't jam it against your head and you keep it away from your body most of the time and use the speakerphone, you're going to be fine. You know, you have to use it a lot and have it near your body a lot to have any negative impact. It's not like it's, you know, you use it one time and your head falls off. That ain't going to happen. But it is interesting to do these things because the government, you know, our leadership, yeah, it's not that they don't have an interest and don't care about you. It's just that if you're a politician and you're receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars from Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint, are you going to come out and say, well, cell phones are dangerous? I doubt it. Or you'll be a one-term representative, that's for sure. Because it takes M-O-N-E-Y to get elected, I guarantee you. And here I go, guys. I'm getting excited about going traveling now. I mean, for me to go RVing is kind of a exercise in futility, since I live in a 16-foot travel trailer and have lived in RVs for 30 years. For me to go out RVing is not much of a bit. You know, well, the environment changes. That's a fact, and I like that. And I like to go where it's cool in the summer. I'm hoping that all works out, because sometimes I leave early in March and get burned out and come back home for the summer. That doesn't make any sense, does it? But you don't count on me to make sense. Don't count on that, guys. Because Rusty does what Rusty does, and that's all I can say about that. Coming into Marble Falls, Texas now. They're building me a brand new grocery store, because I told them I wanted one. And they knew that I was Rusty 78609, and all the Rusty's Rangers wanted a new grocery store, so they immediately started building one, and it will open February the 9th. Next Thursday, I guess. Is that right? Next Friday. Next Friday it will open, but they're not going to have the, quote, grand opening for a while, until they get everything squared away, and then they'll have a, quote, grand opening. And up here in this part of the world, that is a big event, I guarantee you. $45 degrees, high today 64, tomorrow high 79. I like it. We're getting, and that's the way it does. You know, that we're coming out of the winter. January is the coldest month up until about the middle of February, and then spring comes on pretty quick in Central Texas. And I'm hoping that it warms up nicely in New Mexico, and we have our normal season. But cell phone safety, guys, I got on that this morning because I just happened to be reading. There was something happened in California, because the thing that's kicking it off, really, one of the things now is this 5th generation stuff coming out, because the 5th generation, you know, right now we've got 4G, now they're going to come out with 5G. Well, 5th generation, or 5G, requires the cell towers, not only, they'll be a lot smaller, but there's going to be 10 times as many of them. And they're going to be everywhere. Why? Because that's what's going to enable the self-driving cars and other stuff. because they'll be everywhere. You'll be going down the street and your little old car will be swapping from tower to tower to tower. Let's see, can I get this? Yeah, I got it. Got it made, baby. But I get me a parking spot out here in the boonies so I can get in and out easy, because I guarantee you this place will fill up in just a little bit. But guys, think about that cell phone safety, and I'll think about it too. And y'all have a great day. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want, but use the link to Amazon products in the description of my videos. I appreciate it. Why? Because I'm an Amazon affiliate. I get a small commission, and it doesn't cost you a dime. It may be a little inconvenient, but if you're going to buy something from Amazon anyway, why not? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It will help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it will also help you lose weight if that's what you want to do, because you'll be full of water and you won't want to eat so much. What else? Take deep breaths. Breathe deep, hold it for a few seconds, breathe out. That relieves stress, and that lowers your blood pressure, and that will enable you to live a little bit longer, maybe. What else? Stretch, 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 walk, walk, walk. Keep your body in motion. I've already done my stretches. I'll do my walking when it warms up a little bit. I'm going to get my groceries first. And what else? Stand guard at the door of your mind, because what you let in are ingredients. Don't let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. Okay, guys? Anyway, guys, enjoy your day. Adios from Central Texas. Bye-bye.